So today I'm going to show you some ways that you can blend your subject into the background. I'm going to be using this ornament digital background. I will link it in the description if you want to get it. So we're going to start by, actually, let me come back over here. The first thing you want to do is click on your background, okay? And now I'm going to come over here and with my move tool, bring the baby over. This is just a baby I found on the internet with permission to use. Okay, so just like that, the baby is inserted into the ornament. I'm going to come over here and click on my baby layer, which right now is called background copy. I'll just double click and name it baby. Okay, so I'm going to right click on this layer and come up here to where it says convert to smart object. And what that does is when you're resizing the baby, it's not going to lose any of its quality. It's not going to start looking pixelated, which can sometimes happen when you resize things. Okay, so I just did Control T. I'll back up so you can see a little better. And I'm just grabbing the corners, these boxes in the corners, to resize my baby image. Okay, and just move it around to place her exactly where I want her in the scene, maybe somewhere right in that area, and click the check mark up top. Okay, so the first thing I notice is the baby's a little warm for the scene. This is a fairly cool scene, and it looks like the baby picture was taken in a much warmer environment. She just looks pretty saturated. So easy to fix. Make sure that you've selected the baby layer, and I'm going to come up here to my hue saturation adjustment layer. And I'm going to create a clipping mask, which is this box down here with the arrow. And by doing that, anything that you do in here in the hue saturation adjustment layer is only going to affect the layer below, which is the baby layer. So if I bring up and down my saturation, you can see only the baby is being affected, not the entire scene. So I'm going to bring her saturation down just a little bit so she blends a little bit better with the coloring. And if I click this eyeball on and off, you can see what a difference that made. And I'm just going to X out of here. Okay, so now she fits the coloring a little bit better. So now we're going to turn on the snow drift just by clicking on the eyeball. Obviously, that's way too much snow. Our poor little cold, naked baby, not the best choice. I should have chosen one with clothes on, perhaps. So let's see. We want to be on the snowdrift layer. And here is the mask. Click on the mask, and we're just going to come over here and grab a black brush and mask the snow off wherever you don't want snow to be. Yeah, definitely use a baby with clothes on for your image. That would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Okay, and I'm just lightly tapping here to sort of have a softer blending out effect. And maybe I'll put a little bit more in. I can come up here and change the opacity of my brush, so it's not, when I'm masking on and off, it doesn't have 100% of the effect. It's just a slight addition or subtraction of the snow. Okay, so back to about 100%, and I'm just going to mask it off really gently around the baby. Okay, you'll want to take your time on this step, be a little bit more precise than what I'm being here for the sake of the video, but you definitely want to take your time. The more you take your time, the better and more realistic it's going to look, but I think that looks pretty good for right now. Okay, so the only thing left to do is click on our falling snow layer. Okay, and if it's not enough snow, if you'd like it to be a little thicker, every time you hit Control J, it's going to make that snow thicker and thicker. So I just hit Control J 2 times and it made 2 copies of my snow layer. I want some of that snow, not all of it, but some of it to come down over the baby a little bit more. So I'm going to click on one of those new layers and just hit Control T. I'm holding down Shift and I'm just dragging that snow over the top of the baby. Okay, so there we have it. Pretty easy. Thanks for watching.